wake up in the morning with a smile on my face, feeling thankful for the love and the happiness we chase. Sun is shining brightly, sky so blue and clear. With every breath I take, I'm grateful you are near. So grateful. Thank you for the laughter, thank you for the tears, thank you for the moments that we hold dear. Thank you for the love, thank you for the light. I'm grateful every day, you make my world so bright. The world can be
I'm giving you a tour of our front yard. I am beyond excited to start decorating the front for fall. It is well overdue. I normally like to do this the first week or two of September, but we had some really hot weather, coupled with the fact that we went on vacation, and here we are in the beginning of October and getting this finally done. So I had pulled out a bunch of our flowers, the flowers I had in the bottoms of these topiary trees, and some additional flowers I had by the front door. I had gotten rid of those quite a while ago. They were definitely spent, and now the weeds have grown. The bushes need a little bit of trimming. We have a flag, a flag that our little man here was holding that I had forgotten to take out from the summer holidays, and I'm excited. I don't love pulling weeds, but I do love doing all of this before I start getting the front decorated for fall. It's kind of the same process I take when I decorate the inside of our home. I like to clean before I decorate. So kind of doing the same concept here, getting not all the weeds because that's just impossible. And at some point I'll spray whatever is left behind, but I do like to try to get the bulk of them out by hand. It's not an easy task, especially around all these rocks. They're the worst, but just kind of doing some de-weeding, or weeding, I should say, and picking up these leaves here. We have this beautiful magnolia tree, and I know it is such a beautiful tree, and it's a tree that a lot of people who don't have one would love to have one. And this is the only thing left in our landscaping from when we redid our landscaping. We left this tree here, and I sort of have a love-hate relationship with it. It's a beautiful tree, but it drops its leaves a lot, and this is really nothing compared to certain times of the year that you won't even be able to see the mulch. That's how much leaves will come down, but I try to stay on top of it as much as I can. And I had a begonia, this begonia that I had bought from Walmart, and it is doing beautifully still. And I hate to get rid of anything that still looks so nice, especially those ferns in the front. So the ferns I'm actually going to be using in our back deck. I'm just going to remove those from the front, but I can't get rid of them either. They're just so nice. They're staying so well. I love ferns. They're one of my favorite things to use in the summer months. And now I am just, this is, when I say I'm going to go for flowers, it usually is definitely an all day event because this is me cleaning up the front. I am just trimming some things. It wasn't terrible. Everything was pretty manageable. Nothing was too overgrown, but just wanted to get a little bit of all this cleaned up, hopefully give you some motivation to get outside. This beautiful weather. I don't know how it is where you live, but it is beautiful here. We've had some warm streaks here in New Jersey. I think I'm hearing it's supposed to be more fall-like next week, which would be great, especially after I do all this front decorating. But these topiaries I had gotten from Walmart as well, and I love them. And even if they don't make it through the winter, I will 100% buy them again next year. I usually hand trim them, but since I had this guy out, I figured I would just quickly do it with that. Just gonna get things swept up, and then we can start with our decorating. And this is definitely going to be a 2-part video because I did not get home from flower shopping till probably later in the afternoon. It was around 2 or 3 o'clock at this point, and the kids still had sports tonight, even though we did have a day off today. So I did want to get the bulk of the cleanup done, and a few little goodies I was able to put out, and the rest I'm going to be doing tomorrow. The kids are back in school, so it'll be a nice time for me to be able to go ahead and finish all that. So cleaning up before I can get to decorating. And I am 100% bringing those ferns to the backyard because they were just too beautiful to throw out. So going to put those on the deck for sure. And starting to get my corn stalks out there. I usually always put 2 every year in front of our doorway. And getting the rest of the flowers out of the trunk. I typically always use mums, definitely cabbage, every year. No, without a doubt, those are always my go-tos. And then I like to throw in a couple of extra things, depends on what the nurseries have, for the year, for the season. And I saw these purple flowers, and they were just so beautiful, and they're supposed to be perennials, and I don't know the name of them, but they were just such a beautiful purple color. So we'll see if they come back. And this hanging plant they had on, I guess you can say, clearance, because it was definitely a summer plant. But I wanted things to hang over, and there wasn't too much of a selection of that. So I bought this hanging plant to put in the pots to kind of drape over. So I'm wondering how it's going to do. I actually have to go back and get another one because I am 1 pot short. I thought I'd be able to get all 3 done with the one hanging plant, but that's okay. I want to head back anyway and pick up some more pumpkins. And I had my little guy with me here at the farms today, and he was a huge help. Really was a huge help. But there's to the point where we couldn't fit anything else on the cart. So we're definitely going to be making a trip back. And aren't these cabbages beautiful? I mean, the purple color, and these things last forever. I remember having frost on them last season, and they were still going strong and looking beautiful. So I wanted to get the bottoms of these topiary trees just really full, and it worked out great. This hanging plant, like I said, worked out great. I'm skeptical on how they're going to last because I did pull them apart by the roots. I'm hoping that they're not in complete shock. And they were super dry too, so hopefully going to be giving everything a really good drink. And I always put, like I said before, the 2 corn stalks by the front door, and then I stick 1 in between our garages, and that's always really fun. I love to do that every year. And these mums here, there were the smaller style mums, and they're just really, really cute. They're great for window boxes. I took our window boxes down. Next season, I'm hoping to invest in some really nice window boxes. The ones we had up were here for years since we moved in. They were on the house, so we had taken them down. But those little guys look really great in window boxes. And just getting all the pots done for the most part. I do have to go back and get another hanging plant, and getting some mums in here. We had some summer flowers that were on their last leg in here, so just taking those out and switching out for some fresh new fall mums. How do you guys care for your mums? I've seen A lot of people say lately that they have been kind of submerging them in water. That way that it comes up from the roots and gets their mums nice and wet, nice and wet. But I don't know. I don't really have any issues keeping my mums alive. I always buy them super tight no matter what time of year I get them, whether it's early September or as late as now, early October. I always get them super tight. I just feel like they last so much longer. They'll get me through Halloween for sure, and a lot of the time even midway through November and Thanksgiving. By Thanksgiving they're usually spent, but I always get them super tight, and I always water them just with the hose. I always try to, go straight to the dirt, and I never have much issues. And I also, even when it rains, I still always water them because I just feel they're so dense that even rainwater, it's really not getting a good soaking. So, but any other tips you may have, I'd love to hear them. I love to keep, the investment that you make in flowers, try to keep them lasting for a long time, or at least just for the remainder of the seasons. But just sweeping down everything now, I think I'm going to keep this Hello rug there, and the rug underneath it, the buffalo check, I just recently got from Hobby Lobby. I needed a new one. The one I had there was looking kind of shabby. So I might keep it there. I do have a fall seasonal rug to put on top of it, but I don't know. I really love the way that looks. It matches the hello that I put on my door. So I might keep that there. We'll see. I love these pumpkins. I am beyond in love. They're like, they're irregular. They're not your perfectly round pumpkin. Reminds me of Spookly. Their stems are so awesome. Love them. We had one casualty in the car. I should have taken them out before we drove to football. Don't mind all the dirt and whatever is on my shorts. Um, so I actually want to fix that stem. I'm not sure how I'm going to do it yet, but I'm going to try. So I'm glad that I at least got everything trimmed, everything cleaned up. I'm going to do a little bit of sweeping. The kids had friends over this day. They were playing a lot of football, a lot of baseball, a lot of basketball. It was a beautiful day. It was in the low 70s, warm enough to be outside in t-shirts and all of that still. So that was awesome, but it wasn't super muggy either. So it was a really nice day, and wanted to get everything nice and watered. Even the things that I wasn't going to be planting today, I gave them a drink. And then I wanted to just do a little more cleanup, get some mulch and everything off of the walkway. And I have to tell you, this hose I'm using is by far the best hose I've had out here ever. And I've been through a lot of hoses in the front. I've been through the regular hoses. I've been through like the as seen on TV coil, hoses. When you turn them off, they kind of disappear. Didn't like those. This hose is awesome. Came with the nozzle, came with the little hanger that you put on the house to, be able to put it away on. I love it. I had gotten it off of Amazon sometime in the early spring, and I am definitely getting one for the backyard next year. We have so many hoses, but they're just all not good. So we are done in the outside now. It was way past dinner time at this point. I think it was around 6:30, 7 o'clock at night. Well, not way past. I shouldn't say that. Dinner time for us goes as early as 3:30 and as late as 10 sometimes. So this day it was around 6:30, and I had picked up these beautiful tomatoes while I was out, and I knew I had to make a sauce with them because they looked amazing. And I know this is definitely not a quote fall inspired dinner, but I saw those tomatoes and I had to make it. So I am making a fresh tomato sauce, and it is super easy to do. Normally, if I had a bunch of different veggies and stuff, I'd be putting them all in there with it, but I didn't this night. So I'm just doing lots of garlic, as I always do. Chop the garlic really, really fine. And I use a whole head. because we are garlic loving people in this house and basically use garlic in everything. And just chopping it away here with my little handheld chopper makes really quick work of it. And going to be putting some extra virgin olive oil in a pan. Get it not, I don't like to get it too hot because I do not like my garlic to cook pretty much at all. I just like to let it kind of sit in the oil for a little bit as it's heating up. And then as soon as I see any signs of a sizzle, I will put my tomatoes in. And these babies were just so good. I mean, that's the one thing you miss about summertime is some good Jersey tomatoes. But these were looking so good. And I was definitely in the mood for this meal tonight. I'm actually a little bit drooling now that I'm looking at that. Makes me want to go eat the leftovers, but I'm not because it's really late. So I'm getting all those tomatoes in there. Just when like I said, when I start to see the sizzle of the oil, I get all the tomatoes in there. And you don't have to do a super big dice on those because they are going to be melting down. And another addition to this sauce is going to be onions. I love tons of onions in this. You can omit the onions. There's no reason why you need to have them in there. I mean, obviously they provide flavor, but if you're not an onion person, then just leave them out, or you can dice them really small. I like to just do thin slices in this particular type of sauce. So good, so good. So just doing a little bit of salt and pepper now, but I will be adding more later. Oregano. I always put in fresh thyme, and I always rub it in my hands because that's what Rachel Ray used to say. She used to say you have to wake it up in your palms. Yes, I put a whole head of garlic, and I'm adding garlic powder. 100%. Yes, I am. And I put 2 onions, and I'm adding onion powder. We like flavor. So getting that all in there, you don't really have to do too much stirring at this point because everything's going to melt together. But getting the top onto that pan, kind of let that simmer over a medium heat. And while that's simmering away, I have a pot of water boiling, and I just wanted to get the sink cleared out while I was outside doing some stuff in the front. The sink had piled up a little bit, so wanted to get these dishes done, and then we're going to head back and check on the sauce. Now at this point, when everything is a little bit mushy, I take my potato masher and I just give everything a good mashing. Just want to get all those tomatoes kind of almost dissolved into the sauce. And I still have some fresh parsley in my yard. It's just very exciting. The basil is definitely long gone. I got to get rid of that, but the parsley is still going strong. And we are chopping off a ton of parsley because I'm a parsley girl, and draining our spaghetti here, getting it back into the hot pot. And when I tell you this sauce is delicious, it's delicious. It doesn't get any fresher than this. So at this point, I taste test for salt, and I'm a salty girl, so I am definitely going to be adding more. And then you're going to be also adding in, optional of course, some grated cheese. I love to add it in for some tang, and it also helps thicken up the sauce a little bit because this is definitely a thinner type sauce. Just gives it a little more substance. So going to be putting a little, or as I like to say, a lot of cheese in here, stirring that all around. And yeah, I might actually have to go eat the rest of these leftovers now that I'm doing I'm doing this voiceover way late at night. So if my voice even sounds low, it's because everyone is sleeping. But my mouth is drooling now. I think I want the leftovers. Stirring everything in, stirring the majority of the parsley in. Save a little bit to top on, and voila, it is delicious, and it seriously comes together in no time. Maybe a half an hour max to let it simmer, but other than that, it is so super easy and so delicious. So just plating this delicious dinner up. My husband was still not home at this point, so I was enjoying this. My kids don't love this type of sauce like this with all the onions and the tomatoes kind of skins, and it's not their jam, and that's okay. So they were just having some plain spaghetti, although my little guy did try a little bit of the sauce. But I had some, but it wasn't his favorite. But I sure love it. So I'm going to sit down and enjoy some of this delicious pasta dinner. I hope you guys enjoyed this and got some inspo. I'd love to see you in the next one. Bye, guys.